So that is what we are going to be using to build most of these dashboards. So we are going to um, build our first dashboard from this data set that we have actually gotten now. Most of us are familiar with this data set. That's why I chose to use it today with this, because that's what we use our assignment. So that is what we are going to be using today. So I'm going to be building a live dashboard with you guys. So I'd like everybody to pay attention to whatever I'm going to be using to build, and the best practice I'm going to be using to build this dashboard, so that when it's time to build yours, you wouldn't be having difficulties. And so we are going to be building our dashboard from this data that is here. So right now, we are going to analyze the data based on fatal cases, serious cases, minor cases, total cases, number injured, number killed, total casualty, and people involved. So we are going to be using most of the charts that we learned about. So please, before I go ahead, there's something I want to talk about these slicers that I want everybody to take note. Please, if you are using your slicers, please note that your slicers will only work. Your slicers will only work with data that is in your pivot table. Your slicers will only recognize data that is in your pivot table. If you copy out your data and you put it on your workbook because you want to use all those other charts that I taught us about earlier, your slicers are not going to recognize, your slicers will not recognize those charts. They will not function with it. When you are clicking it, they will not change because it is not in your pivot table. So I'm saying this so that when I give an assignment and I tell people to build, and I tell you guys to build your dashboard and to also use slicers, if you just put it at your mind that if you want to be using charts like sunburst, waterfall, funnel, and so on and so forth, those charts that I taught you today, if you want to be using any of those charts, it doesn't work on a pivot table. You have to copy it out to your workbook. Once you're doing that, your slicers will not interact with that data. Slicers can only interact with data that is on the pivot table. So I just wanted each and every one of us to note that. Okay, so right now we are going to start. We are going to start building a dashboard. But before I build a dashboard, remember we need to get our charts first. We need to get our charts. So let me get the chart for all these all these metrics that I mentioned. I think we've already gotten some here in the sense that this is the number of people killed. So let me just rename my sheet. Remember, I said building once you are building your pivot table, it is always good to name the sheets where your pivot table is, so that when you are building your dashboard, you are not confused where one chart is or not. So let me build this. This is fatal accident. This is a fatal accident. Okay, let me use a line chart here. Get rid of all the lines. For those of us that have already done this as an assignment, so just wait for me to get my own charts, and then you follow me as we build the dashboard together. I don't have my own chart, but let me just build my chart now. This is fatal accidents of 5 states with fatal accidents. I'm going to change my data and make everything. Sorry, hold on. I'm going to make my data. I want to filter it to make it top 10 this time around, not just top 5, to make it top 10. Okay. All right, that's good. This I named the sheet. This is fatal. This is fatal accidents. This is fatal accident. So let me get for serious and minor this time around. Um, States. This is serious. I filter top 10. Okay. and then I sort from smallest to largest, and then I insert, and then I insert, then I insert a chart. Then I insert a chart. Okay, let me get rid of some of this. Get rid of the grid lines. We all know this because most of us were able to do it in our assignment. But some of us still don't know the best practices to apply when you are building charts. So as I'm doing it again in our presence, please let us still, I know, yes, we've covered it, but please let us still pay attention to most of these things so that when it comes to time to build, as we are not found wanting and our dashboard can actually pass muster. Please, for those of you that were able to unmute yourself, please kindly mute yourself back so we don't cause a distraction to the class, please. It's very important. Okay, I'm not going to take much with this. Okay, let me get another pivot table. Let me get another pivot table. This time around, this one was serious. This will be minor. States, minor. I want the top 10. Click on OK. Let me filter this. And then let me get my charts. Let me get my charts. Let me use this. Let me filter it according to smallest to largest this time around. Okay. Then remove the field buttons. I thought was this. Remove the grid lines. Then remove this axis here. Remove this legend here. And then I can name my top 10 states with minor cases. Okay, we're almost done. I think we need like maybe 4 or 5 more. Okay, let me get for total people, the injured people. Already have total killed here. For the total killed, let me return it to top 10. Let us get a top 10 for that. So right now I want total injured this time around. Another pivot table. Another pivot table. I get my states. Total injured. I get my number. Get my value. Now filter it according to top 10. I sort my data. And then I get my chart. I want to use bar chart to represent all these fatal and minor, and so best practices, we can remove this. Remove grid lines. Remove this also. Remove this axis. Name my data. So I can name it number. Okay. Top 10 states with number killed with highest number of injured people. Okay, can actually have that. That's descriptive enough. That's descriptive enough. Let me name my sheet here. Number injured. And which sheet is this? This is minor. Which sheet is this? This is serious. This is serious. Okay, let me see. What else can I? Okay, let me get the last two. Total casualty and people involved. So we just have 2 more charts to go. Total casualty. Total casualty per state. Total casualty. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget, after doing this, we are building our first dashboard. So it's something to look out for. We've been winding down to this since we started the pivot table. So we are now there. So I'm just trying to get my data, what I'm going to use to build my pivot table. Because your charts, this is your chart, what I'm going to use to build my dashboard. It is your charts that make up your dashboard. Your dashboard is just a collection of your charts. Your dashboard is a collection of the charts. Remember when you were building your charts were being built on different sheets. Your charts were being built, or you built your charts on different sheets. But your dashboard gives you the ability to bring all those sheets together. So your dashboard is a collection of all those sheets. It is what to be able to, it is what to allow you to visualize all those charts at a go. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I just have one more pivot table to build. Okay, let me build people involved, and I end with that, and then we'll go straight to the dashboard. Pivot table. So states with the most people involved. States with the most people involved, and then I filter, get a top 10. Okay, I sort my data. Okay, what charts would I like to use for this? Can I use an area chart? Yeah, I can use an area chart. And then I click on, I use an area chart, and then I click on OK. Remove the grid lines. The grid lines, the legend, and move all three buttons. Then we have something like this. Okay, so let me name this. The title is top 10 states. Highest amount of people involved, highest number of people. Okay, all right, this is done right now. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, with the few charts that I've created, with these few charts of mine, I can confidently say I want to build a dashboard right now. So I can just insert a new sheet at the beginning here, and name it dashboard. So that is that for that. So right now, this is where we are going to be building our dashboard. So for us to build our dashboard, we need to get rid of most of these grid lines that are here. For us to build our dashboard, we need to get rid of all the grid lines that are here. I've done this earlier, but for those of us that have missed it, for you to get rid of the grid line, you come to view, you click on view, and then you click on grid lines. You click on view, and then you click on view, and you can see now you have like a blank canvas that you can actually use to build your dashboard. Your individual cells are no longer showing. It's not as if they are not there. They are there, but they are no longer showing according to each cell, according to rows and columns. Those by boundaries or by borders, as we know it, are not showing. So we can actually go ahead to build our dashboard right here. So this is where what I taught us earlier under shapes. This is where the functionalities of shapes come into play. So okay, I want to have a background first. I want to have a background I'll cover here. So can have a background. Let me give it a very, very light color, something not too bright and not too shabby. Okay, we have something like this. Okay, so right now, one of the first things you need to do when you are building your dashboard, you need to name your dashboard. When it comes to visualization, when it comes to presenting visuals, naming them goes a long way in when you're presenting to your audience, because that is the first thing people will first look for. That okay, what is this thing we're actually looking at? So you need to first of all create a name for your dashboard. We can use the text box column for that. You can use the text box column from that. Okay, so right now I can name my dashboard road accidents in Nigeria. I can specify the year is between 2021 and 2023. And then I close my bracket. So because this is a text box, I can remove the background and then the border. And then I can actually increase my size. I can also come and change the font. Let me see if I can get a better looking font. In as much as I said we should try to minimize on graphics when we are using this thing, there's nothing bad in actually looking for how your dashboard will look much more presentable to your audience. So let's go with this. Let's go with this. And then I have I can also just, let me see if I can get something. No. Let me just put something like this. Road accidents in Nigeria, the silent killer. Let me make this a little bit. So this is what I want as my dashboard heading. So at this time, remember, we have in all our charts, we have not created a slicer. We have not created a slicer and we have not even connected any slicer. So please don't let us forget that, because we are going to be including a slicer in our charts. We're going to be including slicers in our chart. So let us create our slicer. You can create your slicer. You only need to create your slicer once, and you can create it in any pivot table. Do you understand? So let me just create my slicer here. Let me click on my chart and come to my slicer here. I want to use my state and my year as a slicer. And then I click on OK. So right now I have my slicers out. Right now, I have my slicers out. Now, let me connect my slicers to all my pivot tables. Remember now, I have like 6 or 7 pivot tables. Let me connect each one. I start with here, report connections. You can see these are all my pivot tables, and their names are there. Pivot table 2, fatal accidents, minor, number injured. You can see they're already there. So that means I need to connect everything by what? Selecting them. I need to connect everything by selecting them. Select, and then I click on OK. That is done for year. So now let me repeat the same thing for state. Report collections, and then I report all my connections. I report all the pivot tables that I have. Please don't leave out anyone. Anyone you leave out will not be interactive. So now I click OK. So these slicers are supposed to be on the dashboard page. So let me take them. Let me copy them. I'm going to copy them and bring them to the dashboard page. So right now, this is our dashboard page. This is where our dashboard. So we can decide to put our slicers in different places. Most times, the best practices, some people can actually put their slicers here at the right here. You can also adjust your slicer. Because these states have multiple states, you're not going to be able to show everything. You're not going to be able to show all your states because they're actually much. If you want to show your states, it's going to take up all the space on your dashboard. So you can just limit it to 2. And then if you are looking for any state, you can just use the scroll bar here. You can just scroll and then do it, whatever you want to do. So for the year here, I can reduce this because this is just 3. You can reduce it and just place it here. It can be here. Also, best practices, some people also like putting it somewhere here at the top of, just beside the distance at the top here, and then they make it so small so that they will make use of the scroll button. So our slices, And put them side by side. So our slicers are actually here. Do you understand? They have been connected already, so we don't have any problem. So right now, we now start imputing our charts one by one. We start imputing our charts one by one. So I'm going to start with the fatal, serious, and minor charts first. I'm coming. Let me filter this back. This has been unfiltered. Let me filter this back. So let me take this. This is fatal. Let me take it to our dashboard. Let me bring it to our dashboard here. So it's showing top 10 now this time around and not top 5. So we need to correct that. Showing top 10. So here we can just do some mini adjustments. I can decide to remove the background fill and then maybe remove the border. Let me increase the size of this. Let me increase the size of this too. And then let me make my chart title a bit bold. Okay, I would like to change this chart set type. I want to make it uniform. So let me change this the chart type. I want something like this. Okay, so I can also choose to impute another shape. Remember, it's your dashboard, so you have a whole lot of leeway how you want your dashboard to look like. How you want your dashboard to look like is left in your hands. So you have a lot of freedom to make your dashboard actually look as good as you want it. I just want my charts to be in a container. That's why I created that. I want everything to be in a container. So let me adjust it to the size. So we've gotten our first this thing. Okay, let me give all my okay, since we are dealing with Nigeria, can we just use our color? Can we just use our color and let me give this a slightly different color? Okay, it's not that clear. Let me give it a slightly different color. Same thing with like I said, when you're working with your chart, try to make everything as uniform as possible so that everything will you not be having multiple colors and which will turn off your okay. All right. Let me change this green. Honestly, I really don't like green, so let me just try to change it to something I think I would like. I think I like this brown color better. Okay. So please, one thing I also want you guys to note, a dashboard is not something you need to rush. Do you understand? A dashboard is not something you need to rush. When you are building your dashboard, take a lot of time. Take a lot of time to make sure that yes, you're actually building the right thing, and yeah, because you are going to be presenting this information to a wide scale audience depending on the nature of your work, and you wouldn't want to present false information or lose your audience while you are presenting your information. So take your time. You've already built your chart. You already have everything you want to present, but take your time while building your charts. Do you understand? You don't need to rush while building the dashboard. So all right. So let's go to the next visualization. Let me just get my container out, align it side by side. Okay, now I have theta. Let me get for serious. Okay, where's my field list? Okay, let me just come in, please. Let me review this. Sorry, please. Okay, while I do that, let me get for minor. Let me just do minor. I'll review the serious. So let me filter this back. Let me filter it by top 10. And then let me take it to my dashboard. Let me take it to my dashboard. So I repeat the same process. I repeat the same process. Okay. Let me try and repeat the same process with the same colors. Like I said, a dashboard is not something you rush because you need to make sure all your data is all your points are actually aligned. What you are showing for one chart should be what goes for all the charts. If you're starting with a particular color, end with that color. Don't use multiple colors. Like I said, we are not graphic artists, so we are not trying to look at who has the most colorful chart. A chart is supposed to represent your information clearly. So that is why I'm working with all these colors to show you so that it is easier to see at a glance. Those colors are not clashing and they are not hurtful to the eyes. And I'm not using multiple colors. I'm not designing anything. I'm only interested in my audience for them to just be able to read my charts easily. So I'm not doing anything spectacular. Do you understand? I'm using one particular color, a particular shape, a particular font size, a particular font also, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, so for serious, sorry, let me just go back to my original data set. Please hold on. Where's the data set? Once again, for serious, that won't take less than 5 seconds. Serious. So I just filter, and then I sort this time around. Okay, so let me get the sorry, let's use this. Okay, all right, so let me copy and then go back to my dashboard. Let me copy here. So this is for serious cases. We're going to finish building this dashboard in this class, regardless of the time. So we are just going to have to stay tuned because I'm not going to leave this to tomorrow and continue. When I'm starting tomorrow, I'm going to build another different dashboard with a different data set, not this one. So this one we are going to finish in this class. So we are going to be using extra time. So please let us get ready for that because we need to complete this. So serious accident. Okay, let me format my charts. Let me remove the background, the color. Let me remove the background, the border. Let me rename my charts. This is top 10 states. Top 10 states with serious cases of road accidents. Serious cases. So let me make that a little big. Apply my color using just a uniform color, and I'm okay with that. Apply to it to this one too. Okay, so my labels too, same thing. Okay, all right, so I think I'm good to go. Well, let me get my container. I'm just going to copy this, my container here. Sorry, just need this container. Please hold on. So I bring my container, I place it accordingly. Please, if you guys are looking at me, look at how I'm placing my container. They are all actually in line and they are aligned. If you cannot align your hand while placing it, you can get a ruler to help you out. Do you understand? So that they are not in place. One container is not above each other. And you can see everything has equal space and almost equal size. So let me just adjust this chart into this container, and then we're good to go. I can actually, please hold on, I want to make some adjustments because I still have some space to eat up. So let me bring it here, make it a bit bigger, put it back in. Please, I hope you're all following, please, because when I do tomorrow's on the assignments for the weekend, it's going to be so much. We can find ourselves building 3 dashboards in the course of the week. You understand? Because I want everybody to be actually able to do something similar or even better than this. Okay. So what I'm just doing, I'm just readjusting my
Please, we are not seeing your screen. We are not
makeup.
seeing your screen. We are not seeing your screen. Hello, we are not seeing your screen.
Sorry, I think you are the
Hello, we are
please,
not.
if you cannot see my screen and cannot hear my voice, kindly log out and log back in. My network is actually kind of good now. So please log out and log back in, please. Log back and log back in. I'm only getting that complaint from very few people. So please do that and join us. You don't want to miss this class. You don't want to miss this class. Okay, all right. So let us continue. Let me just place this. Someone said they are not aligned. I'm trying to work as fast as I can because of time. We never know. Some people might have other engagements. So I'm just trying to work as fast as time and ignoring some things. Don't worry. The assignment I'll give you, you will make yours aligned. Let me just try as much as possible to stick to my own word. Um, Okay, I think for now they are good to go. So we've actually gotten our first three charts. Now let us test our slicers before we go ahead and build the other ones. Let us test for our slicer. So we have, let me look for, okay, Lagos, our old state. Let me look for Lagos and I'm scrolling down. Let me look for Lagos. Okay, I've seen Lagos here and then I click on Lagos. Now we can see it applied to these first two. It did not apply to these serious cases because this is just, I just built this one now and I haven't connected my slicer to it. This slicer is not connected to this chart. So this is what happens when you don't connect your chart. Some will be responsive and others will not be responsive. So you can see this particular one with the serious cases is not responsive because it's not connected. But no worries, we can actually go back there and connect. You are going to see it. You can see pivot table 13 is not connected. That is why it's not showing. So I click on it to connect, and then I click on OK. So once I do that, it shows that Lagos is the chart is connected to all everything now. So that is why it's good. So let me just return it back to how it was. Sorry. Let me return it back to. I want to remove this. I don't want to. We normally most times we always get these functionalities where just hold on, please. Please hold on for my system is loading. Please hold on for my system is loading. So please at this junction, please, while my system is booting, I would like to take some questions. I'd like to take some questions. So please, if you have any questions, so please indicate in the comment section so I can unmute you and then you can talk and have your questions, or you can just raise up your hand so I can look for you and try to unmute you if you have some questions for this time around. For those of us asking how to connect slicer, I am not going to explain how to connect a slicer anymore because I've already explained that multiple times. So please, you need to go ahead and watch this video one more time so that you can actually get. So let me take this question from, I'm going to unmute you now, Ezekiel. I'm going to unmute you now, Ezekiel. So please, you can go ahead and ask us your question.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the good work. My question is that with the placeholder for each of the each of the graphs that we have placed on our dashboard,
Yeah.
I want to know, is there a way that we can really connect it or fix it well so that when we click and hold and move it anywhere, it will move with the placeholder?
Oh, okay. So what you're asking me is that is there
That's
any way
just
you
my
can link you can group your charts with your placeholder so that when you're moving it move your chart? Is that your question?
exactly
Oh,
exactly.
yes, you can. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that. It is possible. I'm sure you.
Okay,
We
thank you.
call it grouping. I'm going to show you how to do that.
Okay,
Okay, all right. Thank you for your question. So I'm going to select.
okay.
I'm going to. Okay, Catherine. I think I can see your hand raised up. I'm unmuting you now, Catherine, so you can ask your question. Please go ahead, Catherine.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, I want to find out when you were copying the graphs from their individual position to the dashboard, was
Okay.
it a normal copying or how did you copy it?
Yes, it's just the normal copying. The normal Control C and Control V will work for your chart.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. All
All
right,
right.
thank you.
So, okay, thank you for that. Okay, I think I can see who else? Leonidas. Leonidas, you are raising up your hand. I'm unmuting you now. I'm unmuting you now. So please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Go ahead. I
Yeah.
can hear you. Go ahead.
Can we leave the grid lines while we position the charts and then remove them later? Because it will help us in aligning the individual charts in the dashboard.
Yes, you can leave. Is that your question? Is that all?
Yeah, what I mean is if we leave them until
I
after
understand.
aligning the
I understand
charts,
your
can we
question.
eventually remove them, the grid lines?
I understand your question. All right, thank you for that. I'll answer that. Yes, you can leave your grid lines. It doesn't do, you can actually even leave your grid lines and not remove them at all. It's a preference. Me, my own preference is I don't like grid charts in my own chart. So it is my own preference. That's why you see me always going to remove it. It's not compulsory for you to remove it. I never said it was compulsory for you to remove it. It's my own preference. So it could be your preference. You might actually like to see grid lines in your data, in your chart, and then you can leave it there as you like. Do you understand? So you can leave it and remove it whatever you prefer. So let me see if I can take someone. Misola. Misola, I'm unmuting you now. So please go ahead. Misola. Please hold on.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Hello?
ahead. Who is speaking, please? This
Okay.
Chuku.
Richard.
Yeah, Richard.
Yeah.
Richard. Okay, Richard, go ahead.
Sir.
Misola will go next. Please go ahead.
Okay. Did you add shape to like? Did you add the shape tool after you've removed the green line, the grid lines?
Did I do what?
Did you add a shape? Because like I can't get my Excel spreadsheet to be that color.
Did I add a shape to what? I please come again.
Did you get
I can't understand you. I
that
didn't understand your question.
dashboard?
Yes, I used a shape.
Like the dashboard after you remove the okay.
Yes, it is a shape I
Because
used
I
to
couldn't
get.
get my Excel
It is a shape
column,
I
my Excel
used.
spreadsheet.
Yes, it is a shape I used to get that background. Do you understand? I just
To
drew.
get the
Yeah, I just drew a rectangle to cover the
okay.
whole background.
Yeah.
So it's a shape I used. So it's a shape I used. Okay,
Okay.
so all right. So
And in
let me see if I can. Misola, I'm unmuting you now. So please go ahead with your questions. Misola, please go ahead. You're unmuted. If we can't get Misola, maybe we'll get someone else. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, who is speaking, please? Is Misola? Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Miss Sola.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Please, I want to ask, the functionality of the slicer,
Okay.
can it be used on the pivot table?
The
Yeah.
functionality of the slicers.
It's as if it's just something else. Yes. Can it be used on the pivot table?
Yes, if you were following, most of your attention was on the charts. The pivot table was also working for the slicers, right? I was also working on the pivot tables. So that is it. It also affects the pivot tables because the pivot table information is what is showing the charts. So it's going to affect. So it's going to affect. All right. So let me see if I can get maybe 2 or 3 more people so that we all okay. Raphael, you're next. Please go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yes.
Good evening, Raphael.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Please go ahead.
Yes, I just want to. Okay, I just want to know whether we can build a dashboard for data set you are currently working on.
Please, I don't understand. The data set you're currently working on, like how?
Like currently, I'm working on an HIV program, which is I collect data on daily basis, and
Okay.
it's going to end by December. Yeah,
Okay.
can I build a dashboard using this?
Yes, you can. You can
I
build
hope you
that.
can understand me.
Yes, I understand you now. You can build your dashboard even while you are still collecting that data. Do you understand? Remember, I showed you guys earlier how to update your data. I showed you earlier how to update your data. So even after building your dashboard, and then you are adding more data to your data set. You're adding new data to your data set. All you need to do is to refresh your data the same way I taught you, and every single information in your dashboard becomes updated. You don't need to build another dashboard when it comes to December, when you are done with your project. You can build your dashboard now with the available data that you have now. And then when you're adding new data to your data set, you just keep refreshing. And then you will see that your dashboard keeps refreshing. You don't need to build another dashboard. So you can build another dashboard as you work now. So you can build another dashboard. Okay, so Faith is also, I don't know if this Faith is a female or a male, we know now. So Faith, please go ahead and ask your question.
Good evening.
Faith, you are faint.
Can you hear
Please, you need
me?
to be audible so that everybody hears you. I can't hear you.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, good evening. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my question is actually based on the first dashboard you taught us. The one you imputed, you did 3 how many cycles? I've forgotten the diagram you use in teaching that dashboard. You did
Okay.
like about 5 cycles. I want to know if there is a way whereby we can merge the cycle together, because if when I rehearse that one, I try to move it on, but I need to move the cycle, each one after the other. I cannot move them together. I want to know if there's a way whereby I can merge them together, and if I'm moving from this position to the other position, everything is going together.
Okay. I don't understand what you
That's
mean.
my
I don't
question.
understand what you mean by cycle. Is cycle a chart type? Are you talking about pie charts?
No, there was a dashboard that you taught us one time like that. The
A
one you
dashboard or a
use
pivot? A
Netflix.
dashboard or a
I think
chart? Oh, was it when we were building,
not a chart.
when we were using shapes to build?
Yes.
Okay.
When we're using shapes,
Okay.
you did circle. Yeah, about 5 or so.
Oh,
So I want
rectangles.
to know
It's
if there's a way we
rectangles.
can
All those
merge the
rounded
cycle.
rectangles.
Yes.
So you want to ask whether we can do what?
If there's a way whereby we can merge the cycle together and move it.
With the
Let me
charts.
say we're moving from this position to, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. That's a very, very good question.
Thank you.
That's a very okay. So I will stop asking. I will stop answering questions here since we have tomorrow's class. We're going to touch up on this, but I'm going to now Faith and someone else. I think the first person that asked question, they've asked two similar things now, and I'm going to just answer that, and we're going to close that with the end of the class. Unfortunately, when my system was having issues, the dashboard we built has already gone off. I don't know, it got deleted. But no worries. I'm going to do it in my own spare time, and then we'll continue from there tomorrow. We've only done 3. We've done serious, fatal, and I think minor. So I'll do that one in my spare time. You guys will meet it here. So not to worry. But let me show you what Faith is actually having an issue with. Now, she wants to, Faith and the other person that actually asked the question, they want to ask, is it possible to actually merge this chart with the container? Remember, our containers are like this. Sorry. Remember, our containers are like this. Okay. Our containers are like this. Let me just use this just an example. Our containers are like this. And then we put our charts inside. Let me just remove. And then we put our charts inside. Let me remove the grid lines on this page so that. And then we put our charts inside. Now, what you people are telling me is that now this is 2 different objects now. This is a chart and this is a container. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. We're almost done. So right, like I was saying, this is a chart. These are 2 things now. This is a chart and then this is a container. They are 2 different things. Now I want to merge them together so that they become one. So that when I'm moving it, the container and the chart move together. So what do we do? Okay, let me put the chart in the container this time around. Let me size it very well. Now, the chart is in the container. Now, how do I move them together? There's something we call grouping. I am going to group both the container and the chart together so they become one item. So how do you do that? Right now, I'm clicked on the chart. Then you come to your keyboard, you press Shift. You press the key shift key. You press it down. While doing that, you take your arrow to the container, to where the container line to, you also click on that. So now what you've done is you selected the 2 items. Please let me do it again. To merge these 2, to make them one item, so that when you're moving it, everything moves together. You click on one first, click on the chart because that one is inside. Then you click on your shift key and then you click on the container. You click on the container by clicking on the line of the container. And then you selected the 2 items and then you right click. And then you come to group. You see a function group and then you click on group here. Group. Now, when I'm moving it, what happens? You can see I'm able to move both items. I'm able to move both the chart, and even when I'm reducing, they are all reducing at the same time. And when I'm increasing, they are all increasing at the same time. So that's how to merge. We call it grouping. That's how to group a chart and its container together. So I hope I've been able to answer that for Faith and the other lady that asked the questions earlier. So we are going to stop here. We are going to stop here in this class. Tomorrow we are going to complete. Tomorrow we are just, please let us try to join early so we can start early, because tomorrow, after building this dashboard, I would like to build another one again so that you people see me building different types of dashboard, because I'll be giving you an assignment tomorrow to go and build a dashboard on your own. So please let us join early tomorrow. And anyone that has still asks questions, you can always write it down and then reserve it for tomorrow. So I hope this class has been very educative and informative for you. You guys are getting to the end of Excel class. It's time you guys stop Excel and then you move on to advanced ones. So we call it a night to today. I hope to see you all in class by tomorrow. So have a lovely night, everyone. And it's good night from my end here.
Good night.
Good night.